Alright, semi-final number 1, everybody. Another best of 3 series, and we're looking at Feel the Heat. This time they go up against Team Shamzik, and we got our first match ready. I'm pretty hyped for this one. So far, I gotta say, Feel the Heat just crushed through their opponents. I mean, they went through the Khaldorians like hot butter through cheese, and then in the quarterfinals, map number 1 was maybe a little bit closer, but once that we headed into the second map on Sky Temple, they just murdered. Yeah, now they are in the semi-final. We could see them again in the grand final, as we did last week in the first qualifier. But let's have a look. ETC gets banned as usual. Medivh banned out against Ultralisk. I'm personally happy that we have Cursed Hollow as the map. I'm pretty happy about this, actually. Cursed Hollow is definitely one of my favorite maps to cast, which is a little bit weird and surprising to me because it was one of the first maps introduced to the game. And back in the days, you didn't really have a whole lot of maps. So pretty much when you had a best of 3 tournament, you could end up with a series where every single game was played on Cursed Hollow. So you would think after casting Heroes for now, what, 5-6 years, that I would be quite tired of casting the map, but it's quite the opposite. I think it's still one of those maps where you have a lot of options because you can decide to go for a tribute, not to go for a tribute. You have 2 bosses on the map. It's a big 3-lane map, so you have options around even Vikings, Abathar. Options that we don't see used all that much because most of the time other strategies are just a little bit better. But they're there. And they're viable. And there's Abathar. So this is already a super aggressive start from, you guessed it, the Russian team. So the Eastern European teams were always the most aggressive ones, and this one is just exactly down that vein. We're starting with Tyrael, we have Abathar in, and right now you have to ask yourself, what happens with Greymane? I mean, Greymane is the first hero that you're looking at right now, and you're like, Sanctification on that bad boy and Abathar? Yeah, no, that's not happening. I'm pretty sure Greymane is going to get banned now. But we have Zul taken, and we have X-Ray now with Deckard Cain. And Dainu with Tracer. There's the Anubarak ban, okay, so they want to shut down the Cocoon. But is it a Greymane ban, or is something else getting eliminated instead? Now, we have, outside of Greymane, still of course other heroes that you could really go for with a copy. I mean, if you're just trying to lock someone down and get a lot of burst damage on it, then Jaina was in the past always a fantastic use for Abathar because of that copy. Rhaegar with an Abathar head, Kharazim with a head, also fantastic. And there's the ban on Hammer, which means that Kharazim and Greymane are both up. And both of them are fantastic with Abathar. And you can really YOLO here pretty hard at this point. So this is gonna be more than a bit exciting. I mean, there's obviously also a couple of heroes on the melee assassin side that would go even deeper into the rabbit hole if you want to go full aggression. In particular, we're talking about an oldie but goldie, Illidan here. But as expected, it's Greymane, and we have Li Ming behind that. And Kuni-chan? I mean, first of all, it's awesome to see Kuni-chan here. Second of all, Kharazim would be awesome. Kharazim with an Abathar and Tyrael? Whew, baby, let's go. Full on aggression on one target. Tracer would also hate that Kharazim on the other side. And you can do a lot with this. And now all of a sudden Feel the Heat is like, yeah, I mean, they're feeling the heat. Or feeling at least the pressure. But there's Arthas trying to counterplay Greymane a little bit. I like that. And obviously if you now pick Kharazim, then, I mean, you know what you're up against, right? So you know you go up against that Arthas and his Frozen Tempest. But you still have to make the decision. Do we go into that Kharazim? Do we go on full aggression or not? And if, honestly, if the symbiote is on Kharazim and you get hunted by him, that's fantastic. But with Ana, they have the option to also get the nano boost onto Li Ming. Why not? Cool. I like it. Cursed Hollow is the first map. Great map. And we have also a very aggressive draft from Team Shamzik. Let's jump straight in. Our first map in the first semifinal here at the second Panda Cup qualifier. Cursed Hollow, first map, and Feel the Heat on the left with Ultralisk on Reyna. We got Dainu and Tracer, Blade on the side lane, Arthas, X-Ray on Deckard Cain, and Wit with Zul as the main tank in our first game of the best of 3 series. Alright. To the right side of the map, on the other hand, we got Team Shamzik, the Eastern European team with Fallen on Li Ming, Nenopi on Greymane. We got Ana played by Shamzik for this one, and in addition to it, the Ice Cream on Tyrael and Kuni-chan on Abathar. Let's go. We got good old Abby in on level 1, the Envenomed Nest right away. So armor reduction at this point is obviously quite neat. You have a little bit more damage as well, which can also help you to clear some waves if you have that set up. Level 1 talent, the Exterminator for Jimmy. Pretty much what he was trying to do with this is, of course, have a tool for the team that allows them to take bosses super easily. And that's very likely what we're going to see on their end. Trying to just play with those bosses a little bit and drop them later after the 5-minute mark as quickly as possible. Level 1 talent for Li Ming with a Force Armor over here. And with the Abathur setup, it's always a little bit weird at the beginning. You are a little bit weaker when it comes to big team fights because you don't have that extra hit point pool in a battle. After level 10, when you have the copy available, that changes of course slightly, but you have that symbiote. So in a 1 versus 1 situation, you will have the advantage eventually whenever Abathur jumps in. So it will be an interesting game. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen Abathur plays on this level. Oftentimes he actually gets banned when there is a good map and a good setup unfolding in front of the opponent. But in this case, he was taken early. So we'll see. Camps are now already taken. Both of them, by the way, going for the Siege Giant camp in this case now. Actually, as we're talking about it, they're going for both camps. The blue team, at least, that is. So, yeah, both of them jumping in immediately to take both of their camps. And let's see what they can actually do with this. A little bit of an early pick, honestly, on that Siege Giant camp over here, considering that the first objective is going to spawn topside. And again, with the Abathur combo, they might not be able to really fight for it. Farlander, good reaction. Jumps out right away when he sees the Howling Blast coming through. Obviously, the attempt by Arthur to get some early damage in over here. But yeah, not happening just yet. I mean, either way, now we still have that Dino set up with Tracer, the pew 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 at the bottom of the map against the Siege Giants. Needs a little bit of an assist there, I'd say. But we have with level 4 now also the Deathlord. Okay. Alright. So at this point, Deathlord is in. More mines for Abathur. Prolific Dispersal right here. I mean, all that we want to see from Abathur is this. Slap 'em, baby, slap 'em all day long. But I'm not quite sure if we're going to see Slabather in this game. We still got the Charged Blast on the other side now, so we are starting to see a couple of talents that we usually don't see too much. I mean, the level 1 Force Armor was already one of the things that isn't really picked in every game, but given the setup, it makes a little bit more sense. The Charged Blast, on the other hand, most of the time it's either Dominance or Triumvirate. We have seen Charged Blast before, but it begs the question, of course, how deep Farlander is going to go into that rabbit hole over here with the missiles. And also, it's going to be interesting to see what exactly Abathur is going to pull off as the game continues in terms of his build. You would expect a bit more of a symbiote focus with Greymane in the picture, but so far he hasn't done that. Alright. Alrighty, so with that, we currently have our jump towards the top, and Blade might be in a bit of trouble. Nanopi is dancing around it, so is the Ice Cream. The two of them get attacked. Abathur, he has an open shot right there. Isn't using it though, because he has to go up against Wit at the bottom of the map, and that is a little bit of a thorn in their side. If you have that Wave Clear Beast up against you on the remaining lanes, then you know that you're going to be in trouble. Another setup for the Coil, with the Immortal Coil now coming through as well. Okay, that's going to help him quite a bit, I might actually add. So it's a different setup for him, but as a side laner here, he can definitely do that and poke them out as well. Helps them with potential interrupts too. Greymane had to tap at the fountain, so he's already done that. Abathur has moved into the middle of the map, so Kuni-chan is wiggling his way away from bot lane, where Wit is currently coming in and starting to destroy the entire setup, and it forces rotation. Abby! Oh my god! Kuni-chan paying attention over here in the middle as Jimmy moved in. The fight, on the other hand, is still going strong, and everybody on the blue team is low as Nanopi is starting to rip them apart here. This should finally be the setup. No, Blade gets the interrupt, but he might pay with his life for it, and he still gets away. And Dino looks for a kill. Is still kept at bay here, but they are really struggling, and this just gives one more time to Wit down at the bottom of the map. That pick into Zul really helped them. Their only goal is delaying this. There's no way for the blue team with this strategy to get that tribute, but they don't give a shit about a tribute. They just need to delay them as much as they can and keep them here with 4. I'm actually surprised Team Shamzik didn't let it go and simply went for the defense. Instead, Li Ming is down. Dino comes in with 1, Dino comes in with 2, and they come in with another 2 kills. 4 heroes down, And Dino survives. This one is taken. And at the bottom of the map, we already have a kill. What a setup. And what an absolute brutal finish to this dance up at the top of the map. Absolute crazy. First the kill against Li Ming, then coming through with Ana, and then the double kill just a second later. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, so now we have a 2-level lead. We have 4 kills against 0. And whew, that is not the opening that they were anticipating here. That actually hurt a lot. You lost map control, you lost also on the experience side. They are in trouble and they know it as well. And of course, what do you do with that? I'm actually surprised that Feel the Heat didn't go for boss already. They have a level 10 ability. They can easily take a boss fight if they want to. And they should be willing to do that right now and even try to go for the double. Instead, there are a couple more toxic nests over here. Abathur actually went into Mule on level 7. And they were lingering around the boss at the top, but they haven't really committed to it yet. But at the bottom of the map, you can see that now finally we have the commitment made by Jimmy. Again, Exterminator as the level 1 talent always gives you the control over bosses as much as you want. That's one of the main reasons why Ultralisk went for the talent in the first place. So now they're going to try and take at least one, and they're likely going to attempt to make a play for double boss here. And the red team, the only thing that they can do is scramble for experience in an attempt to draw even and get heroic abilities. They can't do a whole lot much more, so they need to play passive for a long time right now. So, you know, P over here tries to take the Siege Giants down, gets a little bit of Abathur help. They have level 10, finally, and that gives us Sanctification, which is, of course, one of the biggest tools in their belt now against Feel the Heat. Lockdown against Ana, and Farlander trying to go for it, but instead we have 1 kill, and there's the second. Nicely done. Dino gets killed on the other hand. Kuni-chan. Well played. Good job by Kuni-chan over here. Yeah, goes for wit. Gets a double kill with it. Kuni-chan with the Abathur copy. What the hell? Alright, we're going to take another look at that. Kuni-chan comes in, gets the quick kill against Tracer, and then he runs around with a copy, moves towards the top, as you can see, and is actually able to pick Wit up as well, who was pushed further down here by his ally. So, coming in, getting another 2 kills. That was actually fantastic. They lost 2 heroes, and Kuni-chan is like, alright boys, I got this. Comes in and just slaps them around. Absolutely perfect. Maybe not with the auto attacks, but still. Oh, over here on the other hand, kill after kill again, and that's a 2-for-1 setup right there as they go for the invade. Yeah, we're gonna take another look at that too. There's so much happening right now. It's actually crazy. Blade might have stayed a little bit too long and he gets punished. But that doesn't change the fact that all of this started with the camp invade. And here's the big fight. I mean, that's the kill against Greymane and Deckard Cain. Then they follow it up with another one. Yeah, bit bananas, honestly, what's going on here right now. So they are going absolutely ham with this. 9 kills against 4 now. And we have level 14 versus level 12. Boss topside is, by the way, still up. The topside boss is still up, and Kuni-chan is currently with Abathur trying to do what he can in order to keep those forts in play. So if he drops another mule here, then he can maybe just save this for a little bit longer. But they're going for the next tribute, because this would put a curse onto Team Shamzik. So they're trying to force a fight and maybe get the kill against Wit early. Sanctification on the ground, and Wit can't get out of this one. So Wit is already dead. There's the copy with the double Greymane, and this time they're likely going to go for this. Blade is already put into a corner. He wanted to go for the greedy move and interrupt again. Even commits to the ult as he's attempting to get away here, but he gets taken out. Buys a little bit more time for the rest of the team topside to get at least the boss. So they traded the tribute, didn't give it up for nothing. But yeah, there's just that. Deckard Cain going down in the middle of the map. Now you gotta give it to Team Shamzik. The game started pretty shitty for them. 4 kills against them, but since then, they actually got a fair amount of kills themselves. They're currently sitting at 9 kills to 7, which isn't really too bad if you think about it. So right now, they're still behind, but they're doing their best to come back into this game. So they're doing a pretty decent job here in an attempt to start that comeback. They might not be able to manage do that, but they are putting some effort into it, so you gotta respect that for sure. I mean, if it works out or not, that's a different story, and time will tell. But they're definitely doing their best here. Now, thanks to the Zul setup and Jimmy, there's just camp after camp that gets claimed by the blue team. They're really trying to paint the entire map blue. And they're now attempting to do it again up at the top side. Sorry, at the right side of the map, as they're trying to go for the Siege Giant camp on top of it too. There's the steal attempt, and Ice Cream! No! Abby helps out! He doesn't have the Sanctification, and he goes down. Tries to kill the kill against Dino, but he just zips away. No problem for that, so Siege Giants are still in play, and yeah, that doesn't really help them here. In the middle of the map, there's also more pressure thanks to the camps. As I mentioned before, with camps taken everywhere, they can do a lot here. So that fort is going to fall just simply to this. We have also the curse hitting again. And as you can tell, things are just spiraling more and more out of control as Feel the Heat is gaining all the momentum. They have a level 16 talent now in their hands. They take the first keep down, can now transition into the middle to drop another one. With Tyrael not here, there's just nothing to stem the tides. So top side, Greymane pushes it out as much as he can, but in the middle of the map they won't be able to do anything about the keep that now gets destroyed by Feel the Heat. Feel the Heat is just doing fantastic here, and they're looking for more kills. The damage output alone that we're seeing, 22,000 for Arthas, is actually the top damage in the game, even ahead of Tracer, at least at this moment. Damage is much higher on Greymane and Li Ning, but it doesn't help you if you are not able to win the game, and it's all about who kills the core. 12 kills to 8. They take down Abatha, they take down Li Ming, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the lead for Feel the Heat in the semi-final of the second qualifier for the Panda Cup. Nicely done and well played. GG, as Feel the Heat takes the victory on Cursed Hollow. Game number 2, Feel the Heat. The boys, they want to go to the grand final again. That's at least what it seems like. Team Shamzik was aggressive in our first game of the best of 3 series over here in the semi-final. But I gotta say, Feel the Heat, they're kind of crushing it today. Now Medivh gets banned again, but Feel the Heat clearly has a goal in sight now, and that goal seems to be another participation medal in the grand final, and hopefully this time for them also a victory. Now obviously, as I explained previously, you will gather points by simply placing high in these tournaments, right? So if you reach the the grand final for the second time in a row, that means that you're getting a lot of points that then count towards the standings, and you will qualify with a decent seeding for the tournaments. One of the things that a lot of people also don't really, I think, get is what seeding actually is. So pretty much if you are like a high seed, if you get so many points that you're the number 1 or the number 2 in the standings for the, let's say, 8 teams that qualify for a tournament final, then in your first round, you will go up against a much weaker team. So you have, for example, number 1 go up against number 8, number 2 against number 7, and so on and so forth. And normally a good tournament organizer also splits the top team, number 1, and the second team, number 2, into 2 different parts of the bracket. And that's also true for number 3, number 4, and so on and so forth. So the higher up you are in the seeding, the better for you usually for your chances to progress through the final bracket in the final tournaments. That's one of the reasons why a point system like this one that we're seeing here is really attractive for not only the audience but also for the players, because a certain loyalty to the tournament and a commitment will help you. Now, with all of that said, we actually have a very, very quick draft here, so let's jump into that real quickly. We see now for, I want to say the 4th time in a row, Dino on Tracer. We have Ana, played by X-Ray, and we get Imperius here. Bans are looking pretty much the same as they've done in the previous games. Feel the Heat is banning out ETC, Rel, and Deathwing, and we have, after the last game, Zul also eliminated from the mix, as Team Shamzik is just saying we're not going to play against that shit again, with him just dominating the macro level and us not being able to do anything about it because he's just killing us on the wave clear. So now we have on Infernal Shrines Zul banned out, also Junkrat. We got Deckard Kane in, we have Cassia in Nubrak for the hard engage, and Blaze. So a double stun setup for them already, with Cassia as the main damage dealer. And let's see what else we're going to get from them. Ultralisk and Blade are still up. I'm still waiting for Ultralisk to actually bring his Myef into play. So far he didn't really need to. But yeah, with Blade, We have Imperius again. What's Blade gonna go for? Blaze is taken. Leo is still up. And there's Tassadar for Ultralisk. Alright, that leaves us with Nenopi as the last pick. Nenopi has been playing damage in the last game. So let's see what he's gonna do with that. What we're gonna get from him. But so far, again, a very solid and well-rounded setup for Feel the Heat. I mean, this is right down the alley, right? This is exactly what they've pretty much done in most of the games that we've seen today. The heavy Tracer commitments that we've seen. Wit always, when he can, plays Imperius. Leo is totally fine for Blade as well. And now we have Nenopi on Jimmy. Okay, so we're heading into game number 2. Let's find out if Team Shamzik can come back, or if we're going to see a 2-0 victory for Feel the Heat, and them being able to immediately qualify here for the grand final of Panda Cup qualifier number 2. In game number 2, with Dino on Tracer. Once again, we have X-Ray on Ana, Ultralisk on Tassadar, Blade on Leoric, and Wit on Imperius. And on the right side of the map, Team Shamzik with Farlander on Cassia, Nenopi on Reyna, Shamzik on Deckard Cain, Kunichan on Blaze, and we got Sir Ice Cream on Nubarak. Alright, ready and good to go. And guys, as we're jumping into the game, also, once again, quick info, if you want to support me and what I do with esports, with Heroes of the Storm, Valorant, and some other game titles, you can always go to patreon.com/Khaldor. Thanks for all of you, by the way, that already support me over there. As I said, I now also have a couple more video vlogs that I can finally put out now that I have a different camera set up. But again, for everybody that still wants to help out a little bit and support me there, check it out and have a look. Now with that said, let's jump straight into our second game and see which team is going to take it. We have with Jimmy, oh actually there's a stun set up, and Nubarak is already darting in, but Nenopi goes down as Dino is just having an absolute field day here today with his Tracer commitments, just jumping in time and time again to get those kills. Yeah, it's a little bit of a toughie right now. It's not really all that easy for them to deal with that Tracer, but they have not banned her out, and they just didn't feel like she's a hero that they necessarily need to ban. But I can I can pretty much tell you that Dino is very, very much so okay with what's happening here. So he's just sitting there saying like, as long as you don't ban her out, I'm happy to take her again. With Malfurion support, without Malfurion support, doesn't matter to him. Sees this one coming too and jumps out as Ice Cream is starting to make the commitment. Okay, so that could have been another one right there. But yeah, Nenopi. Now, they're going for the camp now, but we have Feel the Heat with the commitment towards the middle again. Now again, this is like one of those small things, right? If you take the middle camp first, then you have a bit of an easier time taking this one. Because if you get attacked over here, you can always fall back with heroes, tap at the fountain. You have the option also down here at the bottom. You have a couple of retreat options. So if you are able to take the mid camp first, then this one is always easy for you to claim, and it means you get away with 2 camps to 1. So already a small advantage for them as they're heading into this. Yeah, so Ice Cream is already starting to rush away here. We got 1 kill to 0 so far. The only kill that we had up to this point was the one against Jimmy. 15 stacks for Cassia, by the way, so Farlander is actually doing alright on the stacks account. Yeah, he's gonna try and get a couple of more in. But his stacks and his ability to really connect those is going to be quite important for this game. So Ice Cream, on the other hand, gets the wall to the face, but is kept alive by Shamzik on the support. Alright, so at least in the early game, only 1 kill. Not a big difference right now. A little bit of a lead in experience. And since this is not an Abathur game, and we don't have Zul as these, well, main tank, side laner, AoE, wave clear monster, in this one, it's going to be a bit of a different setup for the objective. The Abathur combo just didn't work, let's be honest. It just didn't work for Team Shamzik. After they initially lost 4 heroes over a tribute fight and a fort in the process, the last map was pretty much lost already, and it was more or less an attempt to come back into the game and start a comeback. Now this could be a very different setup for game number 2. Camp is taken. Only 1 team with the Shaman camp. Red team claimed it. Feel that he didn't. They are, but instead in hat now on the objective because they took the earlier position. But here comes the approach towards Blade. but he is kept alive. And Leo is also every time going to be willing to sacrifice himself for the team, because early on he is going to be back in the fight in just no time. Respawn time is insanely short. He respawns on the shrine, so if they blow all their abilities on Leo, he has no problem. I mean, just look at him. He's going to be back in absolutely no time at all. So as long as they can draw out a lot of abilities and later on ideally also a few ults, he is the one hero that you're okay with having die. Because now Blaze goes down. That's a very different setup. Because now Leo is back and they are going immediately for Jimmy. Nice penetrating round keeps him alive, but the Ice Cream goes down. So that's now 3 kills against 1. And with Farlander about to fall, that's another victim taken by Feel the Heat as they take the Arcane Punisher. So yeah, big fight over here. So Ice Cream gets caught on the way out as Blaze is already dead. Then they make the move for Farlander and they get him too. So really well played. That's a big lead into the game, and with this they can easily now start to jump towards the middle in the attempt to take the entire fort down. And since nobody has been started to defend yet, that Punisher is still at 70% HP. So they are coming in with a quick hit towards the first shrine, the first fort, and that one's gonna fall. That's pretty much the best that you could get out of the first objective here. So pretty solid setup. Now, there's a bit of a silver lining, of course, in Farlander's stacks. He has 30. 5 minutes in, that's not bad. So as the game continues, he's going to ramp up the damage a little bit. But the same is going to be true for Tassadar, who's sitting at 70 stacks himself. So we'll see where this is headed. But this is still... losing the fort is a problem. Especially since there was pretty much like no resistance at all. Level 10 isn't there yet, so this time they at least don't have an opponent coming to super early level 10. There's a kill against Ana on the other hand. That's exactly what they need. Nice. Pick engage. And they go for 1. And they go for 3. Well done. Yeah, that's how you turn a game around. Let's take a quick look at those kills. As they are now diving onto the wall down here in an attempt to take this down. So they start to dive onto Ana. They get a super quick kill against her, which is exactly what they need here. And then with this particular stun combo, they are able to drop another 2. Really, really well played by them. That not only equalizes the amount of kills that we see for the two teams, but it gives them even a lead in experience. All of a sudden they're ahead. Oh, beautiful setup here too. Quick kill against Tassadar. Nicely done with Valkyrie. Yeah, but Wit comes in and takes Cassia down, the revenge kill. And Shamzik is a little bit lost for a second as he was still going for his ult here. There's the Nado boosted Imperius, and it allows them to get a lockdown against Deckard Cain. Bullying the old man here. 1 kill, and that's a second. The bunker as an attempt to save them didn't really work. Now they go for the Ice Cream, who barely is able to get away. Kuni-chan is also making his way slowly out of this one. And just like that, Feel the Heat is not only had an experience again, but also in kills. Yeah, I gotta say though, this is a lot more like it than game number 1. Game number 1, the combo just didn't work out. This time we have a little bit of a blow-for-blow match. And with this, we got Blade and Ultralisk still topside, taking another camp. So on experience, they are ahead, also in mercenary camps. The damage output, 26,000 for Cassia, pretty clearly shows already that the stacking process is also working for her. I mean, obviously not the only damage source, but still contributes. Dino's trying to take the fountain down. The situation in structures has obviously not really changed. More damage put out by Dino. And off we go. Next objective is coming up. If they can take the fountain out before the next objective is in, that would be ideal. That would be the dream. And that's what they're trying to do, and that's what they can do. So that means that nobody can actually come back for this. Alright, there's a double ult on Tracer as they're trying to lock her out. Problem is that we still see a Nuburak getting attacked here, so Ice Cream gets zoned out and is trying to make it out. The problem is that Ultralisk himself is now also in trouble, and he is going to fall. Yeah, Tassadar is down, and all of a sudden the chance to go for the objective. But the turnaround again by Wit. Jesus, dude, chill. Wit is popping off right now. Topside campus, by the way, pushing the fort. Let's not forget about that. But it's kill after kill again, and their main target is Ana in these fights. it's still a punishing play against the Nubarak, as we have Wit with a nano boost again turning around, and Imperius is just murdering right now. Showcasing once again why he is so high up in the meta at this point. Cassia is dead, and Dino is just zipping around here as they are locking the old man up. Shamzik is on the run, trying to move out here, gets slowed down, and is eventually gonna fall too. 11 kills against 7. Tassadar has moved towards the top. The old-timer is dead, and topside, the camp is not able to take the fort down because Ultralisk is already working on it. Holy hell! It is getting nasty over here. And also, in addition to that, we have the fight for the next Punisher. It's a Mortar Punisher, and it's looking pretty good for Feel the Heat. They're also working on the camps. Moving over on the left side, as slowly but steadily, Team Shamzik is coming back into the game. Getting resurrected over here. But it's insane. It's honestly insane right now. Ultralisk is working on the next camp with 28 stacks already taken towards the next Punisher. There's obviously no chance for Team Shamzik to really come in and try and take them out here. So map control again completely claimed by the blue team. Yeah, they're looking really, really strong here. So down to the bottom of the map, Wit is already prepping the lane. The fort has been taken out, so they 9 minutes in, 10 minutes in, they're going for keep. They're going to try to go for the keep now. Set up here at the side. That wall is, by the way, nearly done, 50% HP. So obviously they're attempting to bait the Punisher over the wall, but you can simply break the side wall here and then follow up on the stun, if there is one. But Anubarak jumps out, so that's good for him. But they're already moving through here as the Punisher gets baited in a little bit deeper in the attempt to drop him quickly. But the wall is gone. They go for the fountain, and they might... Actually, they are going to take that key. I was about to say they might not be able to take it down, but they will put a lot of damage onto it. But just look at it. They're going to crush that thing. Yep, they're going to pop it like a pimple. And they do the same to Cassia and to Jimmy. Can they go core? No way. 14 kills against 7, and they go for Nubarak. The Beetle is dead as well, and all of a sudden they're here and it's like, team, can we go core? So they're trying. They're trying to do some more damage, and those shields are falling, and they're going to be able to at least put a bit of damage onto it. Question is just how much. Can they actually end it already? An 11-minute game? Jesus, these guys are on fire today. It's disgusting, seriously. They really want to go to the grand final, don't they? They are murdering this tournament. I have no idea if Dino has a hot date later or what exactly is going on, but these guys are not wasting any time today. None at all. So it seems like they're gonna crush it. They take Cassia down. That's another triple kill, 19-7, and a 2-0 victory, ladies and gentlemen, for Feel the Heat as they advance to the grand final of the tournament. Holy hell.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.